With me now, I have David Acuna, Deputy Public Information Officer for the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. Sir, thank you so much for being here. I know you have a million places to be.
Thank you for having me, Markie.
It's been a devastatingly distressing week for Californians. Where do firefighting efforts stand this morning, and how do these Santa Ana winds threaten progress?
Firefighter efforts are moving. However, as you mentioned, the red flag warning is going to prove a significant challenge to the current containment lines, which is why containment is only at 13% and 27% for the Palisades and Eaton, respectively. We do not see that it's going to be possible to keep it any more contained until this wind event is over. And then on top of that, we have the concern of additional fires that start up, which is why we have a mobilization center set up in the region so that we can be prepared for any new fires.
Yeah. You know, we were reporting this morning, I mean, these winds expected to be up to 50 miles per hour through about Thursday. Then they go offshore, right? And then at some point will return again. How do you monitor Santa Ana winds?
Well, you're absolutely right. That's the challenge, is that it comes out of the north and or the east. And then after that wind event is over, all of that dry air that's sitting over the ocean comes back over, heading the other directions, which is extremely dangerous.
How are your crews working to prevent the spread of these fires, especially as new communities are constantly being threatened?
So this is where the cooperation of all of our firefighters, we have more than 14,000 people at scene with a number also en route, which includes a number of states, Canada and Mexico. And so we're just throwing everything we can, coming together in mutual aid, national and now international aid, to work on these fires.
Yeah. And David, also get us up to speed on resources here. Do crews have the resources they need to fight these flames? And also, how are those on the fire front lines holding up almost a week later?
We do have the resources we need, which is why we pre-positioned the mobilization center. Where we really need is the public's assistance. We need them to be very cautious, not to be mowing, not to be dragging chains, because if we can prevent one less spark, that's really going to help us contain this. And then as far as motivation, our firefighters are out there. They're going through, putting out all these hot spots, which were people's homes. And they're dedicated professionals who realize that every hot spot they put out is a potential removal of a risk of the fire spreading.
Yeah, I mean, just these images alone are apocalyptic. I know so many people feel numb. The magnitude of loss is just unimaginable. Governor Gavin Newsom says this might be the most destructive natural disaster in U.S. history. Can you give us any more just kind of context or insights on the scale of this kind of destruction that you're seeing?
Well, you know, we're having a lot of assessment of that right now. We're assessing the structures. We're assessing the areas that have been damaged infrastructure. And one key note, evacuation orders and warnings may stay in place after the fire threat is passed because there are active power lines that are down that may or may not be energized. There's gas lines that are disrupted. And perhaps most importantly, all of the ash out there is toxic. It's from homes and plastic materials. So it's all hazardous material, and which is why we would keep evacuation orders in place afterwards, because it's just too dangerous for families to be out there.
Yeah, it's just terrifying. So many families don't even know where to turn, right? Before I let you go, David, so many Californians are looking to you and officials for guidance here. What's your message to the evacuated residents of Pacific Palisades and also the millions across Los Angeles County?
Well, that's correct. This red flag warning is going to affect the area from Ventura to San Diego, which is a huge swath of the region. They need to navigate to readyforwildfire.org for evacuation preparation, evacuation list, to find a shelter for themselves, small pets, large pets, or livestock, and then also how to build a go bag. As far as the people that are affected by the incidents, if they go to our webpage, fire.ca.gov, they're able to look and see the shelter information, where they have resources, the various charitable groups that are offering, and most of the incidents are bringing that together in a single point, so it's easier for residents that are displaced to access it.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.